بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, respected brothers and sisters. Welcome on this blessed Jummah day. We find one of the essential remedies for social illnesses, for moral decay, for the virus of social corruption is Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahi anil Munkar. This is translated as enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. Forbidding the munkar, enjoining the ma'ruf, and forbidding the munkar. Respected brothers and sisters, that is us today. We must direct our fellow brothers and sisters. We must direct them toward good and away from doing wrong by our gestures or our sayings. The act of enjoining the good and forbidding the evil is an intellectual directed act. The intellect says to do so. The intellect appreciates it. Meaning the intellect will say, if something is corrupt, then we must try to change it. Look at this ayat of the Noble Quran. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linasi ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhawna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah. The transinterpretation of this noble ayat, which is in Surah 3, ayat 110 of the Holy Quran, is you are the best of nations. You are the best of nation, brought forth for mankind. You command with ma'ruf. You bid what is right. You bid what is right. You command bil ma'ruf, with the right. وَتَنْهَوْنَا عَنَ الْمُنْكَرِ, and you forbid what is wrong, what is munkar. وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ, and you believe in Allah. So we have different things in this ayat. We have that you enjoin, you command with ma'ruf, and you prohibit from munkar, and you believe in Allah. So what is ma'ruf then? And what is munkar? What is ma'ruf and what is munkar? Ma'ruf is literally doing good. Ma'ruf is doing good. Good acts. Acts of goodness. All our wajib deeds are acts of goodness. And even something that is really mustahab is an act of goodness. So it will be mustahab to do. It will be mustahab to enjoin the good there. So ma'ruf is doing good acts. And this could include wajib and mustahab. So when it's a wajib thing, it's wajib that we enjoin the good. And when it's a mustahab thing, it's mustahab for us to enjoin the good. What is munkar? Munkar is evil, falsehood. Like drinking wine, drinking alcohol. First, we must realize on this topic of enjoining the good and forbidding the evil that there are conditions for this obligation. For this to become obligatory, wajib upon us, there are a set of conditions that we, as responsible people, must consider. First is we must have knowledge of what is ma'ruf and what is munkar. We must know what ma'ruf is and what munkar is. We must have a correct backing or of an understanding of and knowledge of what is actually ma'ruf and what is actually munkar. We cannot go about enjoining on people our munkar, like one person that they may view their evil like racism. In their culture, somewhere in the world, they're a very racist culture, and they think that this is good, but in fact, it's actually a munkar. That person cannot go around enjoining that munkar on people as something good. That is not knowledge of what is munkar and ma'ruf. That is opposite. They think something is ma'ruf that's actually wrong. Racism is wrong. Islam rejects racism. So this thing that they are doing would actually be evil. Or another example is someone's false beliefs. Someone has a false belief. They cannot go around enjoining that false belief on people. They don't have knowledge of what is ma'ruf and what is munkar. Like Trinity. We don't agree with Trinity. The Christians and the Jews, they're part of Ahlul Kitab. We hold them in a special place. And we find with it a good thing to have interfaithing. But we don't actually agree with Trinity. Muslims, we don't believe in Trinity. We don't believe that it is a sound belief. We believe it is rejected intellectually. We believe that revelation has rejected it. So, Trinity is actually a munkar. It's actually a wrong belief, a falsehood. So one must have knowledge about what is actually ma'ruf and what is actually munkar to be able to enjoin it on a Muslim who is not following the rules. Like prayer, fasting, hijab, not listening to haram music. But some of them, you need to research and gain a good understanding, refer to a scholar, something, to understand to get the knowledge of what is ma'ruf and what is munkar. Second condition, that was the first condition. The first condition was we must have knowledge of what is ma'ruf and what is munkar. The second condition is there must be a possibility that by your gestures or your words, a person will be influenced to do ma'ruf and stay away from munkar. Here, if you're sure so much where you feel that you will be safe as having an excuse that that person would not have taken your influence in front of Allah, you feel safe, you're confident that you have an excuse, that your influence will not help, the obligation will not be on you. And it's good to still show your dislike for the bad. Check with your marja here, because he may say that you have to at least show your dislike. And you can still tell the person that what they're doing is wrong and enjoin good on them. It's optional at this juncture, provided other conditions don't conflict. However, an exception here is one's family. One must always show them that what they are doing is wrong, even if no hope for them to listen or be influenced by your word or your gestures. We must always tell them not to do that. We don't accept it. Show gestures of non-acceptance, being rational, of course. And you can refer to your marja for all the details in these areas. Send his office a question, whatever you need to do. The third condition is one should be free of facing severe harm. Like if a Muslim guy, he goes all sinful and corrupt one day and decides to rob you on the street. Here you may be in danger if you enjoin the good and forbid the evil. So you have to make a judgment. If you're in such a situation where you will be harmed like that, then the obligation will be dropped. There has to be absence of severe harm on you. Fourth, there must not be a religious excuse. A lot of times, people may not give people excuses. They may look at what they're doing and automatically judge them without giving an excuse. See that sister, she's not fasting in the month of Ramadan. You didn't give her excuse. Maybe she has haid. Didn't give excuse. There must be an absence of a religious excuse for you to have to enjoin the good and forbid the evil on a person in a wajib thing. So there must not be a religious excuse for the person doing the munkar, such as not fasting because of menstruation, or even on following their own marja's fatwa, which is not in agreement to yours. They have an excuse. They're following an expert. They have found that scholar is an expert, and you're following an expert, you're responsible, you found that your scholar is an expert. Now both scholars have a different view on an issue. Next, we must say that we have to be gentle and advisory. We must use the best of words and direct people with creativity and intellectually toward the good. We must have patience. Sometimes just leaving a room or expressing something gently, that what they are doing is wrong, is munkar, something that may be enough of a hint for a person that they are doing wrong when they know it. And there's lots of rules on these. You could check your marja. There's more. Just briefly to bring about the topic of enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. And it's important for a healthy Muslim community that we help our brothers and sisters toward good. And we help them to stay away from evil. وَالْآخِرُ دَوَانَا أَنَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَى سَيِّدِنَا مُحَمَّدٍ وَآلِهِ الطَّاهِرِينَ.